10 Holy Grail Ford muscle cars ever sold. Remember those drive-in movies? The smell of popcorn mixing with gasoline in the air, bell-bottoms flaring with every step, and that electrifying guitar riff from Born to Be Wild blasting from the passing car? Yeah, those were the days. The glory years of American muscle cars. And who can forget Steve McQueen tearing through the streets in his Ford Mustang and Bullet? Man, that chase scene. So today, we pay tribute to those days as we count down the 10 Holy Grail Ford muscle cars ever sold. Also speaking about McQueen, you might want to stick around for number 5. Number 10, 1964 Ford Galaxie 427 Thunderbolt. The 1964 Ford Galaxie 427 Thunderbolt wasn't your average family car. Built to dominate drag races, it was a lightweight worth the Thunderbolt label. Ford crammed a massive 427 cubic inch V8 engine under the hood, estimated to deliver over 600 horsepower, way more than the advertised 425. This powerhouse let the Thunderbolt blaze down the quarter mile in around 11 seconds, reaching speeds near 130 miles per hour. But the Thunderbolt wasn't all about sheer force. To shed weight, Ford replaced heavy parts with lighter materials, fiberglass for fenders and aluminum for bumpers. They even had lighter seats. This resulted in a car hundreds of pounds lighter than a standard Galaxie. Only around 100 Thunderbolts were ever built, making them incredibly rare and valuable today. Back in 1964, the price tag was around $7,000, a hefty sum considering a base Galaxie cost under $3,000. Nowadays, you can price it up to $100,000 or even more. While not exactly unpopular, the limited production and focus on racing meant it wasn't a car for everyone. However, for drag racing enthusiasts, the 1964 Ford Galaxie 427 Thunderbolt was a dream come true. Its combination of mind-blowing speed, lightweight design, and limited production cemented its place as a true legend in the world of muscle cars. Number 9, 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429. The 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429 was special, created to meet racing regulations requiring a certain number of street-legal cars to be produced. But that doesn't mean it wasn't a blast to drive. It had a 429 cubic inch V8 engine, churning out a great 375 horsepower. This brute could launch from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a scorching 7.1 seconds, making it one of the fastest Mustangs ever built. However, only 1,358 Boss 429s were produced. We say only, not in relation to the other cars on the list, since this number is quite big as opposed to the others. Still, while the power was undeniable, the Boss 429 wasn't the most practical car. Its large engine meant it guzzled gas and wasn't the smoothest ride. Plus, the hefty price tag of $2,800 in 1969 was a significant barrier for many buyers. So, why is it a holy grail? Despite its limitations, the Boss 429's raw power, aggressive looks with a signature hood scoop, and limited production make it a legend among muscle car enthusiasts. Number 8, 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 302. The 1969 Boss 302 wasn't the most powerful Ford muscle car, but it earned a place in the Hall of Fame for a different reason: balance. Unlike its big brother, the Boss 429, the 302 packed a 302 cubic inch 5.0 liter V8 that delivered a healthy 290 horsepower, though many suspect it actually made more. The engine was lighter and revved higher than the larger options, making the car feel nimble and responsive. The Boss 302 wasn't a slouch in a straight line either. It could zip from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 6.5 seconds, which was very quick for its time. Handling was another strong suit, thanks to stiffer suspension and wider tires compared to a standard Mustang. This made it a blast to drive on twisty roads. So why was the Boss 302 popular? It offered great performance at a more affordable price than some other high-end Mustangs. Only 1,628 were built in 1969, making them somewhat rare today. While some muscle cars were all about force, the Boss 302 found a sweet spot between power, handling, and affordability, which is why it remains a beloved classic. Number 7, 1969 Ford Mustang Mach 1 Cobra Jet. The 1969 Mach 1 started as a styling package with a distinctive hood, spoilers, and racing stripes, but the real muscle came from the optional Cobra Jet 428 cubic inch V8 engine. This engine churned out 335 horsepower, which was enough to propel the Mach 1 from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 5.7 seconds. Very quick for its time. While not a top speed demon, estimated at 115 miles per hour, it was all about the thrill of acceleration. So why was the Mach 1 Cobra Jet popular? Well, first of all, compared to the even more powerful Boss 429, the Mach 1 was significantly cheaper. It also looked fantastic. With a variety of colors and customization options, this made it a great choice for enthusiasts who wanted a stylish and powerful car without breaking the bank. Still, it's important to note that the Cobra Jet option wasn't the most common. Production numbers are fuzzy, but estimates suggest only a few thousand Mach 1s were equipped with this engine. Today, these cars are highly collectible, fetching prices around $50,000 to $100,000. Number 6. 1967-70 Mercury Cougar Eliminator. The 1967-70 Mercury Cougar Eliminator might surprise you. It wasn't a Ford Mustang, but a close relative built by Ford's Mercury brand. While Mustangs were known for being sporty and powerful, the Eliminator was more luxurious and stylish. Think of it as a sophisticated muscle car. The Eliminator came with a variety of V8 engine options, giving drivers a choice between power and everyday comfort. The base engine offered good muscle, but the real attention grabber was the optional 428 cubic inch Cobra Jet V8. This engine was capable of putting out over 290 horsepower. However, the Eliminator wasn't all about raw power. It had a nicer interior compared to the Mustang, with upgraded seats and more comfortable features. Plus, the Eliminator offered a sleeker, more upscale look with hidden headlights and a distinctive hood scoop. Production numbers for the Eliminator were okay-ish. Only around 2,250 were built in total across its 4-year run. This scarcity, combined with its unique blend of muscle and luxury, has made them desirable collector's items today. Number 5. 1969 Ford Mustang Bullet. The 1969 Ford Mustang Bullet wasn't originally built to be a high-performance beast, but rather a tribute car. The Bullet Mustang was created to commemorate the iconic car chase scene featuring a Mustang in the Steve McQueen movie Bullet. Think of it as a special appearance package. The Bullet came in a dark green paint job, sported some stylish wheels, and had minimal badging for its cleaner look. But don't be fooled by the understated looks. Under the hood, the Bullet packed a serious punch with a 375 horsepower, 428 cubic inch V8 engine, making it a true muscle car at heart. While the Bullet wasn't the most powerful Mustang of its time, it gained immense popularity due to its connection to the movie. It became a symbol of cool, understated power, and the classic car chase scene cemented its place in automotive pop culture. Number 4. 1969 Ford Torino Talladega. The 1969 Ford Torino Talladega was built to compete in NASCAR races. It had a 428 cubic inch V8 engine, cranking out an advertised 335 horsepower. Actual figures are believed to be much higher. This powerhouse could propel the Talladega from 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 5.8 seconds, a blisteringly fast time for 1969. Talladega had more than just raw power to offer. Ford engineers focused heavily on aerodynamics to give it an edge on the high-speed racetracks. The front end was extended for a sleeker profile, and the car boasted a unique air dam fashioned from a modified rear bumper. These changes helped the Talladega slice through the air with less resistance, allowing it to reach higher top speeds. However, the Talladega wasn't a huge sales success. NASCAR rules required automakers to sell a minimum number of cars to the public for accreditation, in other words, making them street legal. Ford only produced around 754 Talladegas, making them quite rare and valuable today. While the performance was impressive, the hefty price tag, stripped-down interior, and lack of everyday practicality likely deterred many buyers. Number 3. 1967 Ford Fairlane GT. The 1967 Ford Fairlane GT might not scream muscle car at first glance. Unlike its flashier Mustang cousin, the Fairlane GT opted for a more subtle approach. But under that unassuming hood lurked a secret weapon, a mighty 427 cubic inch V8 engine. This powerhouse pumped out a rather impressive 271 horsepower. Imagine the acceleration. 0 to 60 miles per hour could be achieved in a swift 7.5 seconds, leaving many competitors in the dust. This kind of speed meant serious thrills for drivers who enjoyed the feeling of being pushed back in their seats. However, with only around 1,300 Fairlane GTs produced in 1967, these cars are quite rare. The relatively high price tag of around $3,700, roughly $35,000 in today's money, compared to a base Mustang, might have deterred some buyers. So why choose the Fairlane GT? For some, it was its seeming ordinariness. This car could surprise unsuspecting opponents on the street with its hidden muscle. Others might have appreciated the more comfortable ride and spacious interior compared to the Mustang. Number 2. Shelby GT500. Built between 1965 and 1970, the Shelby GT500 was a collaboration between Ford and racing legend Carroll Shelby. This car wasn't shy about its power. It had a massive 427 cubic inch engine, churning out over 335 horsepower in early models and reaching up to 435 horsepower later on. That kind of power meant serious speed. 0 to 60 flew by in around 5.5 seconds, making one of the fastest cars you could buy in the showroom. However, Shelby focused on handling as well, adding features like stiffer suspension and improved brakes. This extra control helped tame the wild engine and make the car a blast to drive on twisty roads. Production numbers for the Shelby GT500 were low compared to regular Mustangs. Only around 1,000 were built each year, making them rare and highly sought after today. Back in the day, the price tag was hefty, costing nearly double a base Mustang. But for those who could afford it, the Shelby GT500 offered unmatched performance and exclusivity. Number 1. 1969 to 1970 Ford Mustang Boss 351. The 1969 to 1970 Ford Mustang Boss 351 was built to dominate corners and carve up twisting tracks. Under the hood sat a 351 cubic inch V8 engine, a smaller but more high-performance option compared to the bruisers and other Boss Mustangs, but don't let the size fool you. This engine churned out an impressive 430 horsepower. Now that had you cruising 0 to 60 only within 5.5 seconds. The real magic, however, was in the handling. Unlike some muscle cars known for straight line speed but loose steering, the Boss 351 hugged the road. Special suspension components, a limited slip differential, and wider tires all contributed to its exceptional grip. This meant drivers could take corners at high speeds with confidence, a game changer for performance driving. Production numbers were low. Only around 1,500 Boss 351s were built across the 2 years. This exclusivity, combined with its racing pedigree, has cemented its status as a legend. While the official price tag back then was around $5,200, roughly $43,000 today, these cars can now fetch millions at auction. That concludes our look at 10 legendary Ford muscle cars. What's your dream Ford in the garage? Share your pics in the comments below and hit that subscribe button for more classic car dives, restoration tips, and muscle car madness. We'll see you next time.